Hey, what is up everyone? I'm Phil Games, and I don't know what I want to do with my channel. Wow, great way to start. Okay, let's try that again. Thank you everyone for all you new subscribers. Thank you so much for coming here from Cammy's channel. It's just crazy how, like, already past 500, so already got to a milestone of sorts, so thank you so much for that, and thank you to Cammy again for posting my video on your channel. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to kind of tell you what I want to do with my channel going forward, because I'm definitely not always going to be able to make big videos like that Glitchtale timeline one, but I still would like to upload somewhat consistently, so I'm just gonna kind of say what is reflecting in my glasses? It's not this. What is that? How are you doing that? Stop. Also, I do work on weekdays, so that kind of gets in the way of uploading too. So I don't know exactly how often I'm going to be able to upload, even after I do decide what I want to do with my channel. Like I said, I don't really know what I want to do, but I do have one thing. I have a few things, but I'm going to tell you about one thing, an ongoing series of sorts that I want to start, kinda just so that I can have something to upload, but I also have had the idea for it for a while. I just kinda had to wait to actually get a little bit of a following to start it, and you'll see why once I explain it. So this series is going to be called boy. Okay, just say it. It's going to be called Last Week You Asked Me. LWYAM. Yeah, most original creative name ever, but come on, I started out as a gaming channel and called myself Phil Games. What do you expect? I am so bad. I'm worse at names than Asgore, okay? So, what I want this to be is you asking me questions in the comments. Preferably the comments of the last LWYAM video, which, if we come up with a better title, we can definitely change that in the future. So just call it a temporary title for now, we might keep it. But anyway, it's probably not going to be weekly like the title says, because again, I have work, I can't really do that, and then if I did, it would basically just be this over and over again and nothing else. So in order to keep this from just being like any other Q&A type thing, I want to try to make it be more focused on video game lore. The problem with that is kind of that I don't know a lot of lore about a lot of different video games, but the ones that I do know about, I know quite a bit, and those would be Undertale and Deltarune, and of course you can ask Glitchtale or Underverse questions as well, because I really like those as well. Also, Kingdom Hearts. I haven't played any of the games, but I've watched all the cutscenes online. Also, to a slightly lesser extent, The Legend of Zelda. I haven't played a lot of those games either, but again, I watch videos about them. I've watched Let's Plays of some of them, so I do know quite a bit about them, so you can ask me questions about them too. And at least starting out, you can ask, like, opinion questions or questions having to do with my channel, like normal Q&A type stuff, just because we kind of need something to fill it out if we want to do it on a regular basis at all with only 500 people. That's kind of a lot, but still, I don't even know what I'm saying. This is the first, like, mostly unscripted video I've ever done, so yeah. So what I'm gonna do for this video is I have a bunch of questions written out that are sort of along the lines of what I would like you to ask, so I'm going to just ask them here and then answer them with the answer that I would give in a normal episode of this. So let's do that. Question 1. Why did you say that Papyrus dies in your Glitchtale timeline video? Why is he dead? Calm down, guys. He's not actually really dead. I have actually got this question a lot on the comment that I posted on Cammy's video and on the first draft that I have on my channel. That information came from a little comic that Cammy posted on her Twitter a little while ago, and that only happens in the failed timeline, timeline 1, the one that most of Glitchtale isn't actually even happening in. So that is technically canon, that's why I put it in the video, but still it didn't, well, it did happen, but then Kara went back and created a new timeline, and that's where most of the stuff that actually matters happens. So don't worry, he's not actually dead. Question 2. How do you think Kara is inside Frisk in Undertale in the first place? So this is something that I don't hear very many people talking about, which, I don't know, it is, I think, one of Undertale's weirdest plot points or weirdest mysteries or whatever, besides Gaster and, you know, all that stuff. But I think I have a theory as to how that may have worked. So my theory is basically that what happened with Kara was actually really similar to what happened with Azrael. Because remember, Azrael, when he died, he turned to dust, and then that dust, his essence, went to live on in the flowers that ended up growing in Asgore's garden, right? So obviously Undertale doesn't really say this because it doesn't need to, but remember that humans also still do turn to dust when they die, so except it just happens over a much longer period of time, obviously. But so I think that a similar thing that happened to Azrael happened to Kara, where when Toriel buried him in the ruins at the very beginning where you fall down into the underground and stuff, his dust ended up living on in those flowers that you fall on. And then similar to Azrael, who was woken up in the flowers with determination, Frisk's determination when they fall into the underground is what caused Kara to wake up. So that's just a small little thing that I thought of that felt like sharing it. So yeah, I don't know if you agree with that, but let's move on. Question 3. What is your profile picture? Well, I am glad you asked. That is actually Corn Popo, who is— What? Hi, can you get out of my way? Why'd you say my name? What's going on here? I'm trying to film something. Then why'd you say my name? Because I was trying to tell them about you. Now get out of my way. Fine! So, that was dumb. Okay, that was Corn Popo. He's a character that my sister and I created. What are you talking about? Just, shh, you weren't supposed to hear that. Why do I do this? Okay. He's a character that my sister and I created that I thought I would try to include in my videos just to be something that was unique, I guess, especially since I was starting out as just a gaming channel, and there are so many of those in the first place. I just wanted to try to have something that was a little bit more unique, but it's actually way harder than it sounds to integrate characters like that into just normal videos. That glare is really annoying me. So yeah, I had that as my profile picture, and I just don't really know what else to make it. So yeah, that's my profile. You forgot about me! Yes, him too. Well, now that you're here, do you want to introduce yourself? No! Okay, fine. This is another character that we created. Kornyabiagba. No! Kornyabiagba. Stop that. He does that a lot. Okay, why do I do this? Yeah. So, that was them. I don't know if they'll be in videos, but that's what my profile picture is. Question 4. What do you think of the Kingdom Hearts 3 Sleeping Realm theory? So, for those of you who don't know, this is a pretty popular theory going around right now that all or most of Kingdom Hearts 3 actually takes place within the sleeping realm, within a separate world line that's in the sleeping realm. We're gonna go in. If you don't know Kingdom Hearts stuff, then you won't understand like anything that I'm about to say. So I'll just put a time. You can skip to here if you don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts. So the theory is that what's happening in Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually kind of similar to what's happening in Unchained Key / Union Cross. Just lots of weird stuff. So they're in a separate world line that's in the sleeping realm, and I don't know, it doesn't like answer a whole lot of things, like exactly what people actually came over from the real world and what are just creations of the sleeping realm. So, just lots of weird stuff. But what do I think about it? Okay, so I read through the whole document, the whole theory document, and at this point, part of me really does want it to be true, just because it explains so many little details that couldn't really be explained otherwise. But at the same time, part of me doesn't want it to be true, because that would mean that Kingdom Hearts 3 was even less focused on being its own game than people were already blaming it for being. Because obviously if this theory were true and it was focused on being its own game, then it would have said that this theory was true in the game, but it didn't. So yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see. Either way though, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan and you haven't read that document, I would encourage you to read it, because it goes into a whole bunch of other different details that really have hardly anything to do with the theory itself, that brings up a whole bunch of other good, interesting points, like analyzing the themes of every world in Kingdom Hearts 3 and in previous games, a detailed analysis of the opening of Kingdom Hearts 3, which is really interesting, just a bunch of other little stuff like that. So yeah, you should check it out if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan. Question 5. Who do you see as the true villain of Underverse? Now, there are a lot of bad people in Underverse. A lot of them are very interesting, especially Cross, who started out as the main villain. Obviously, very, very interesting character, and Ink, who started out as a good guy, but then is kind of not a good... He's definitely not a good guy, but he's also not a villain, really. Either way, it's not him that's the true villain. Not that long ago, though, even X-Gaster, I would have said, is not the main villain, mostly because of a short that was out called Come Back, that basically shows X-Gaster as broken and pleading to Ink and saying that he's sorry for what he did. But then when he comes back, that definitely doesn't seem like the case. But it was actually the X-Tale 2 short that made me change my mind about that and be like, no, X-Gaster is definitely the true villain of this series. He's just so... He's a psychopath. He really is. So yeah, at this point it is definitely X-Gaster who is the true villain of the entire series, and I've seen it debated in comments in some of the videos before, and that's why I asked it here. And I just noticed some things in the background. Let me fix that. Maybe. Oh, nope. Dumb camera. Just stay there. There, that's a little better. Okay. Question 6. Do you believe that Deltarune takes place in an imaginary world? So this is obviously referring to the game theory, the first game theory episode about Deltarune that came out, that stated that it was all taking place in like almost like a tabletop role-playing game type of situation type thing, or whatever, where they were just pretending that all of this stuff was happening. And I did actually, well, I didn't play through the game again, but I watched somebody play through the game again after I heard this theory, and it does actually make a lot of sense to me if this were the case. I mean, obviously something like this is going on because the place where you start represents the closet, then you go into the abandoned classroom with the place that represents the fields and shaman, all that stuff. Can you stop glaring? I might have to, I don't know, change my setup or something. But I also do think that there is definitely something else going on, like maybe somebody created the world that Chris and potentially Azriel also had made up at one point, like made it into a real place, or a kind of real place, or like, I don't know, but it is probably something to do with Gaster, but I really don't know, and I guess we will just have to see in the future. Question 7, what do you want the next Zelda game to be like? Okay, to be honest with this, I have only played 2 Zelda games, Ocarina of Time 3D and Breath of the Wild. I have played through Ocarina of Time so many times, like just play through over and over and over and over and over again, and I never finished Breath of the Wild. I'm not gonna say I wanted to go back to the old way and not be open world or anything, but a lot of the cool thing about Breath of the Wild was that you could play it however you want to play it, really. So in that case, for this next game, I want the ability to play it like one of the old games, if I want to, because I do want to. I want there to be dungeons like there were in the old ones. Obviously, that's a thing that a lot of people want. And like, I wouldn't mind if they're out of order or anything. I also recently, I have played A Link Between Worlds, I forgot about that one. So I played that, and all the dungeons in that one are out of order, and that was still fun. I like that a lot. So it will probably end up being like that, I'm guessing, I hope. Maybe the reason I think this way is because I haven't played that many of the games, but still, I do want the ability to play it like one of the older games, except just a lot bigger and with a lot more freedom. And the final question for today, what are your predictions for the next episode of Glitchtale? So, something that I just recently noticed, I don't know if this is what Cammy intends, but it almost seems like the way everything has been, not everything, but the way some of the things have been structured, it almost seems like Betty is going on like a reverse genocide route of sorts, or inverse genocide, I don't know how to say it, but like she has faced off against Undyne the Undying and Mettaton Neo so far, and they're the ones that she's not killed, basically. So then that would leave Sans to be next. So I think that she is going to end up fighting Sans in this next episode, and it's going to be epic, and it's going to be awesome. Those mean the exact same thing, but I said them both just to emphasize the point. So maybe Sans is going to weaken Betty enough so that Kara is able to beat Betty then in the final episode. At least I think there's going to be 2 more, that's what I've heard. So I'm kind of basing this off of that. And then after fighting Betty and kind of winning, then he's going to die again, because at this point, that is probably going to happen. So then, yeah, going back to the reverse genocide idea, then after Sans would be Kara. So then she'd fight Kara. The thing that makes me not so sure who's going to be the obligatory deaths in these next probably two episodes is that we have also had Betty fight Frisk and not win. And I'm not saying that this discounts my theory, because you obviously couldn't fight Frisk in the normal Undertale genocide route. Obviously that wouldn't make any sense. So then that also leaves any other character that you couldn't fight in normal Undertale, which would be Gaster. So she also could fight against Gaster, so he could end up being one of the deaths in either the next episode and leaving Sans to die in the final episode, because, like I said, I think he's definitely going to die in one of them. Unless they find some miraculous way to save him. Maybe Gaster somehow is able to sacrifice his life for Sans or whatever. And then Kara is going to fight Betty in the final episode, and he's probably going to win, but knowing Cammy, it's probably going to cost a lot. Cost everything. Yeah, okay, whatever. Obligatory Marvel reference aside. Kara could die. I don't know. Cammy would definitely do that. Oh, one other thing. I think at some point, someone, probably Sans, is going to remember Frisk, or at least realize that some of the gaps in their memory don't make sense, and realize that something must have been erased. Especially, I think it might be Sans or maybe Gaster, because they were there when Kara and Frisk were supposed to have existed at the same time during Season 1. So I don't know exactly what Frisk did with their memories of those events, but I think somebody's going to realize that something just doesn't make sense. So those are some of the questions, some of the kinds of questions that I would expect from you guys in the comments of this video, so that I can answer them in the next one, whenever that may be. And now I have a question for you guys, and that is, what do you want me to do with this channel? What kind of content do you want to see from me? Because, again, I don't really know what to do. I could continue doing Let's Plays, but the problem with that is that, for one, I don't have a capture card, so I could only do games on my computer, and my computer is already slightly starting to fail me in terms of it's starting to get really slow, so I don't know if I could just be downloading a whole bunch of games. And also, well, I do have money, but I need it for college, so I can't just be buying a whole bunch of games, at least until I start making money off this, if that ever happens, which would be nice. I could finish my Celeste playthrough. I still have 3 episodes from like 4 months ago probably that I haven't edited yet, so I could do that and then finish it off, do the B-sides and the C-sides. I don't know. If you want that, then tell me in the comments and I will do that. What I really wish I could do is, I wish that I could save playing games for streams, but the problem is my Wi-Fi situation, both here at home and at college, is definitely not good enough for streaming. Plus, I don't know if my computer would be able to handle running a game, running OBS, streaming on OBS, and running my face cam all at the same time. Probably not. So I really wish I could do that, but I probably can't, at least for the time being. And then I would like to save my actual channel for more complex videos, but then in an ideal situation, I would want to have a really good editor for that, because first of all, I'm using a crappy free program, and second of all, editing is definitely not my favorite part of making videos, which would be writing. But then, obviously, the problem with that is finding someone to edit it and finding a way to get all the footage and everything to them, and also that I obviously can't pay them, as I mentioned before, money stuff, so yeah, that's probably not going to happen either. So we're back to me not knowing what I want to do with my channel, so we've gone nowhere. Again, like I said before in the video on Cammy's channel, I will do a big, super detailed timeline video of Underverse once the Glitchtale miniseries is done. And also, Cammy posted on her Twitter that apparently the prequel short that she's been working on is going to be out soon, so I would like to do an updated Glitchtale timeline for that. Obviously, I would post it here on my channel now. The problem is, I don't know if I'll be able to, because to do that, I would need to find a room that I can record the voiceover in that somehow sounds exactly like the room that I recorded the old stuff in at college. Otherwise, I would have to wait until the end of the summer to do that, and that would be really annoying. So I'll try to find some way to do that. I don't know if it's gonna happen though. When that does come out though, I will definitely do a reaction video for that. I love doing reaction videos, but I don't want to like become a reaction channel because I like reacting to stuff that I like. I don't want to have to find stuff that I want to react to anyway. I'll also do reactions for the E3 conferences of probably Square Enix, because I like Kingdom Hearts, and hopefully there will be a lot of Kingdom Hearts news there. I'll probably be able to record that as it's streaming live, and then I'll also do the Nintendo one, which I'll have to wait until after work to do that because it's in the morning and it's on a weekday, and so I'll probably have to avoid Twitter for that day, which will be interesting. It shouldn't be that hard, but still, it's going to be annoying. So yeah, I'll do reaction videos for both of those. Also, there is one other series that I really want to do, but it has nothing to do with video games or anything that related to anything that I've done so far on this channel, and that is I want to do a CinemaSins parody of every single episode of VeggieTales, which I don't know if you know what that is, but if you do, please tell me, and because I hope that some of you here know what it is, so that people will actually watch those when I do them, because I'm probably going to do them eventually. I don't know. I know that has been done before, but I haven't watched any of the other videos, and so I think it would just be fun to do. So I want to try to do it, because VeggieTales was literally basically not my entire childhood, but a very, 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 very big portion of it. So yeah, and I still enjoy watching them, so I really do want to do that. So I think that's all I have to say for this video. So if you have questions, leave your questions in the comments below. Stop that. What was that? I don't know. Don't ask. I do a lot of things that I don't understand, which you will probably see a lot of if you keep watching this channel. Unscripted video, yay! Anyway, seriously, if you have any questions for me, preferably about video game lore, although I will answer other questions, at least for now, put them in the comments. I'll see them. I'll definitely see them. I'll probably reply to them also. But if it's a question that I do want to answer in a later episode, I probably won't answer your question in my reply. I'll probably just be like, thanks for the question, I'll probably use this in the next video or whatever. Also, if you could, please use the hashtag LWYAM in your comment, just so that I can keep it sorted which ones you want for that and which ones are just normal comments. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard for now, but still, it would be nice if you did that. And with that, this glare is still in my eye and it's really annoying. I'll try to keep it out for the outro. With that, there's another one from this lamp here. That's also annoying. Nope, that's not from this lamp either. That's from one of them. Okay, I'll stop complaining now and probably change my setup or something. That's all I've got for now, and I will hopefully see all of you in the next video, whatever that may end up being. Bye!